Hey y'all, Halfmilesniper here, and we are back on the home range after our trip to Raton. And we're going to do a little more testing with the 1892 Winchester and 3220 because it may not be the bore that shot. We'll explain all that in a minute. Right now, I'm going to ask you to sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. So, last time out, we shot a little steel with the 1892, shot some 90 grain round nose lead projectiles, shot some 115 grain flat nose lead. This shot okay on the steel. Then we went to the 100-yard range, and the 90 grainers, which were little powder puff loads that I made for my 3220 revolvers, naturally were hitting way low. And the 115 grainers were running about 1,050 feet per second out of this rifle. But they shot horrible. They were keyholing. They shot a group like this. Heck, a couple of shots even missed the target. And at that point, I was pretty secure in my mind that we already saw what the bore looked like, so it must be the bore that was shot, wore out. A lot of suggestions on either rebarreling or re-sleeving it, having it bored and sleeved. That may still come to be, but I was home and I was scratching my head thinking about those keyholing shots. And something made me go out to the garage and double check the 115 grain flat nose lead. And much to my surprise, they only measured 0.295 inches. Wow, this is a 32 caliber gun. It needs 0.312. 0.295 was like hot dogs in hallways there in that bore. So, I ordered some bullets. So the bullets I ordered some hard cast 115 flat nose that were 0.312. And I also ordered some 85 grain XTPs 0.312. And viewer Bill was kind enough to send me 100 pieces of brand new 3220 brass. So these aren't even reloads. Technically, they're new manufacture. And we're going to give those a try. So as I said, we're going to give those a try. I'm going to put them over the chronograph, plank a little bit on steel with them, and then we'll go over to the 100-yard range and see how they shoot. I also took this rifle and broke it down into every piece. I completely disassembled it. And while I had it completely disassembled, I was able to clean from the breech. And I used some of the IOSO bore paste. And I think we got the bore a little bit cleaner, and I'll cut in a little bit of the bore scope video here. Okay, this is after an application of the IOSO in the 3220. Still looks a little bit rough in the throat, but once we start getting away from the throat, I'm seeing some rifling. I think running the correct size bullet, both cast lead and jacketed, is going to help. So give me a minute to finish getting things set up, get the chronograph set up and turned on and the camera repositioned, and we're going to take a first probably 5 or 6 shots with the 115s, and then 5 or 6 shots with the 85 grain XTPs. Both rounds are being pushed by 3.6 grains of HP 38. And now that we're actually going to be fitting the bore, I think we're going to do a little bit better than 1,050 feet per second. So keep your fingers crossed. Bring you right back. Okay, so we're going to start with 6 rounds of the 115 grain lead flat nose. Well, that surprises me. They're actually running a little bit slower at 1028. But, and we're going to run down to the target and take a look, they're shooting a whole lot better. Well, I wasn't shooting real fast, and I was just holding generally in the middle here, but outside of letting one drift high, those are actually grouping up. And last time we shot the steel, it was a much larger group. So, maybe just maybe, the rifling's still got enough grip. We're going to reload with the 85 grain XTPs and see what those are doing. Okay, so now we're going to try the 85 grain XTPs. I think I'll shoot on a different target just to see if there's a difference in group size. Well, the 85 grain XTPs are running considerably slower, which surprised me. By how much? They're only running 820 feet per second, so I can bump that charge up considerably for the 85 grain XTPs. So this is the XTP group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wasn't really trying hard enough, I don't think. I could have done better. I should have done better. But I'm really surprised at how slow they're running. But at least here at 30 yards, they're running fairly true to the sights. Aim middle, hit middle. Okay, I think I'll load up. I was going to load up a bunch and run on the steel, but we only have, well, we got 19, so I could load up 5 more rounds of each and run on the steel. And today my chronograph is mounted on my Sunway Photo tripod, my T4030 CSI carbon fiber inverted tripod. Sunway Photo is an affiliate to the channel. Check out the link in my description. There is a discount code, Halfmilesniper, if you are so inclined to get anything from Sunway Photo. We'd appreciate it, and so would they. Okay, so I've got 5 rounds of the XTP loaded, followed by 5 rounds of the 115 lead. We'll be shooting the lead first. And once I took this gun all the way apart and cleaned it fully, even the magazine tube, the rounds load much, much easier. Okay. Well, that's the lead. Let's see how the XTP do. Nice. We'll go take a look at that. So it's funny, I kind of did the same thing both loads. Very first shot, very last shot. For some reason on my last shot with the XTPs, I aimed low. Second and fourth, so second shot, fourth shot. Third shot. One of these is the third shot, I think. In fact, there's a piece of jacket stuck right there. Fourth shot, second shot. First shot with the XTP with a hunk of jacket left. Last shot with the 115. For some reason, I'm making that last shot hit low. Let's head over to the 100-yard range and see what we can do. I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, so I've got my target ready, just like the last time. We got a 2.5, 3-inch dot that I have high on the target. I expect the 115s to hit somewhere in, back up a little bit, somewhere in here. And I expect the 85s to hit down here. In fact, I'm gonna go get a marker. I mean, if I'm gonna gamble, I might as well make my guess now. I think 115 is gonna hit right there, and I think the 85 is gonna hit down here. Let me note that. There you go. There's my aim point. I say 115s are going to hit there, 85s are going to hit down there. Give me a minute to get the target set up and target cam set up, and we'll come back and shoot it. Okay, so we got a little bit of noise today. We've got some pistol team practice going, and we've got somebody zeroing a patrol rifle. And we're going to shoot a 10-round group. We're going to do an exact image or copy of what we did with the first shots. I take it back, it's not going to be exact. I'm going to shoot the 115s first instead of second. And then we'll shoot the 85s second instead of shooting the lighter ones first. So not quite the same. Well, we got 10 rounds in. Now that I cleaned the magazine tube, the rounds load much easier. Hearing protection's in, eye protection is on. Eye protection's always important. And we know that the 115 grainers are running just a hair over 1,000 feet per second. So let's see what we get. And I went to a different rear bag since the polyfill bag was creating so much noise in the mic. Hopefully this one's quieter. These flat points don't want to feed too smoothly. And it just dawned on me. I've been calling these 115 grainers. I just remembered they're actually 100 grainers, which would explain why they're running a little bit slower than the 115s. So I can probably bump this load up too. Might need to get a little bit of grease on the lifter. I only put a little light coat of oil when I reassembled the gun. Well, that's 10 rounds. Like you, I think I gotta know. Let's run down there and take a look. Okay, well this is going to be as much a surprise for me. Well, it's going to be a surprise for me because y'all will already have seen it on the target camera, provided I didn't have a tumbling around take out the target camera. I really hope we don't have any tumblers. I'll bring you back in a sec. Well, we got 10 hits on paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And not a single one tumbled. And again, I was calling them 115s when they're actually 100 grainers, which would explain why they're hitting roughly in here, which would be kind of close to where the 90 grainers were hitting. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my aim point for the 85 grainers. And I think I want to go mark these, and I'll move that dot up to the very top, which should hopefully put the 85 grainers in here. Going to get some steps in today. Let me go get my marker and we'll move the dot and we'll mark those hits and see what the 85 grainers do. Okay, so I have marked all the 100 grain. Don't know why I kept calling them 115s, because it's the 115s that were bad. The 100 grain .312 bullets, not a single one tumbled. They're all on the paper. My group could definitely be better, but these things are also running only 1,000 feet per second, and this isn't what you would call a target rifle. But it's definitely minute a man at 100 yards now. So I've moved my dot to the very top of the target, and we're going to load with 10 rounds of the 85 grain XTPs, which we know are only running like 850 feet per second. And we'll see if we can get some semblance of a group with them as well. So let's get the loading. Nine, 10. Well, let's see if it'll take 11 since we have them. Well, it takes 11. Let's see if it'll take 12. Nope, it takes 11. So we're going to shoot an 11 round group this time. Eyes on, ears in. Dot has been moved. And again, hopefully, this other rear bag isn't noisy like my D-bed polyfill. Yeah, I need a little grease on the lifting mechanism. It's loading okay as long as I'm not babying it. Well, that's all 11. Okay, cool. Let's run on down there and see what that looks like. Grab my marker so we can mark these 11 hits. Hopefully there's 11 hits on the paper. Hopefully moving the dot to the top of the paper kept us from just putting rounds into the ballistic wall. We'll find out in a few. Well. That looks good. Let's see what we got. Moving the dot up helped a lot. And these XTPs shot pretty good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Take those two out just because they're low, and that is the XTP group right there. Well, what do you know? I do believe that that bore is salvageable. Definitely salvageable. So, looking at that, all I need is a little more speed to bring the hits up more towards where I'm aiming. And that rifle is not junk. Hot dog. Right size bullets, scrubbing with a little bit of ISO. No keyholing, no tumbling. Everything hit the paper, and judging by both groups, I probably need to tap the rear sight to the left just a smidge. Just a smidge. Sweet. Let me pull the target. Take you back. We'll talk some more. Well, I cannot tell you how happy I am that we just fired 21 rounds here at 100 yards, put all 21 hits on paper, and not a single one keyholed. To me, that's pretty darn good, considering how the last group looked. So, I'll try to remember to put a side-by-side of the prior target and today's target right in here. Previously, when I shot the 115 grain, I had rounds not even hitting the paper here at 100 yards. And almost every one of them keyholed. Looking at the bore, it sure looked like the bore was pretty much toast. After disassembling the rifle into all its pieces, working from the breech, doing a little bit of ISO work, which I don't know how much can be attributed to that, but y'all saw the after ISO bore look earlier. But mostly getting the right size bullets. Those 115 grainers that I bought were boxed and labeled as .312. But I had bought those long before I had a .32 caliber gun. I saw them in the gun shop. I was like, oh, one of these days I'll have a .32 something or other. And I bought a box, 500 rounds. And they're all .295, undersized. Again, it was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway with this bullet going down this bore. Rifling's really shallow because it's it's been abused, but there's enough left that when you got a right proper size bullet, that bullet's getting spin and it's flying true. So I think I do want to work up the 100 grain lead a little bit more. And I definitely want to work up the 85 grain XTPs because they shot a much smaller group. In fact, let me break out my calipers. I want to see what the 9-shot group, because I'm going to drop the 2 low ones out because that was obviously me taking a low aim point, but everything else grouped up nice. So I'm going to go measure that and I'll tell you what it shot here in a second. So dropping the 2 low hits, the 85 grainers gave me a 5.22 inch group. If I include the 2 low ones, it's a 6.2 inch group. So I think the 85 grain XTPs have some potential. Iron sights, let's see, 111, 112-year-old black powder damaged bore. Front sight actually wiggles. I'm not displeased. Pretty happy actually. The bore is salvaged. We don't have to send it off to be bored and sleeved. We just won't shoot it a whole lot. We're going to shoot it some more, but not a whole lot. So, all in all, I'm pleased. Well, there y'all have it. I'm probably going to title this something like, "Can the Boar Be Salvaged?" We'll see. That's just what's in my head right now. But, as always, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Thank you so much. We're north of 5,500 subscribers now, and I got a message last night. Somebody's been unsubscribed several times. One person, they commented that they keep getting unsubscribed. So obviously I have to keep reminding folks to check your subscriptions. The algorithm's doing its thing and secretly unsubscribing people from some of the firearms content, to include my stuff. So check your subscriptions, make sure you're still subbed. And as always, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, carry everywhere you can. Get a CCW if you need one. If you're in the constitutional carry state, get a CCW anyways. You never know, you may travel. Things are definitely crazy out there. And now that we're back home from New Mexico at the shoot, and by now you've seen me smack the buffalo, and hopefully you've seen me shoot the 1 mile target. If not, I'll have a link up here somewhere. Thank y'all for watching. I really do appreciate it. As always, Halfmilesniper reminding y'all, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time.
Send it. Hit.